The moment the front door burst open, the quiet peace inside the house shattered like glass. Afternoon sunlight spilled gently across the living room, yet everything felt darker when a woman stormed in, her eyes fiery and her confidence that she owned the world. She stepped over the threshold without hesitation, without permission. Her expression sharpened with suspicion and misguided authority. She scanned every corner of the home as if searching for proof of a crime she had already decided was happening. What she didn't realize was simple yet life-changing. She had just invaded the home of the county sheriff. And within minutes, the world she controlled in her imagination would crumble in reality. Watch until the end. Wait a second. Let us know where you're watching from in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for more powerful and inspiring stories just like this one. Sheriff Adam Reynolds lived in a calm suburban neighborhood known for trimmed lawns, friendly greetings, and a sense of safety. His reputation was solid, firm but fair, deeply trusted by the community. While he carried authority on his shoulders every day, his heart belonged to his 16-year-old daughter, Lily. She was bright, artistic, and gentle, spending most afternoons painting by the living room window after school. The home was more than a building. It was their sanctuary. In this place, work pressure, public expectations, and the weight of the sheriff's badge faded away the moment Adam stepped inside. Here, Lily could be a typical teenager, lost in colors and creativity rather than fear or judgment. Across the street lived Karen Whitmore, a woman who prided herself on watching the neighborhood. She observed people with a suspicious intensity, constantly assuming danger even where peace lived. Her presence was always unsettling, especially for Lily, who often caught Karen staring at her as if she didn't belong. On this particular afternoon, Lily returned from school tired but content, dropped her bag on the sofa, and sat by the window to sketch. She didn't know Karen was standing outside, glaring, her mind already spinning dangerous assumptions. To Karen, Lily entering the house looked wrong. Something inside her snapped into action, twisted, misguided, and fueled by prejudice. Lily had no idea her quiet afternoon was about to be replaced by the most terrifying moment of her life. Inside the house, Lily relaxed into her sketchbook, utterly unaware that trouble was approaching the front door like a storm. But outside, Karen had convinced herself she was witnessing a break-in. Facts didn't matter. Her imagination had taken control, and she was determined to play hero. She marched across the street with sharp, forceful steps. She didn't knock. She didn't hesitate. She pushed the door open and walked right into the sheriff's home as if it belonged to her. Lily froze. Her mind struggled to understand how anyone could walk inside like that. The stranger's presence filled the room with fear, and Lily's heartbeat quickened. She stepped back instinctively, gripping the nearest surface to steady herself. Karen entered deeper into the house, examining the furniture, the walls, the pictures, everything, as though she were inspecting the scene of a crime. Her expression carried a blend of superiority and certainty. This kind came from a lifetime of believing she could never be wrong. Fear coated Lily's skin like ice. She wanted to scream, but shock held her silent. Her father had taught her the basics of staying calm in danger. She remembered one thing: call for help. Hands trembling, she grabbed her phone and dialed her father. Sheriff Reynolds was already driving home early when the call came through. The sound of his daughter's shaking voice hit him straight in the chest. His breath sharpened, and his car accelerated. Every mile between him and Lily felt like a threat. Back at the house, Karen roamed freely, still convinced she was protecting the neighborhood. Her presence became more aggressive, more invasive, and Lily felt smaller and more cornered with every passing second. Outside, neighbors began to notice the commotion. Some pulled out their phones to record the bizarre intrusion. Others whispered among themselves, startled by the boldness of the act. A few recognized Lily's fear through the window and realized something was terribly wrong. Then, the low rumble of a police cruiser approached. More than one. Sheriff Reynolds had radioed for backup. Inside, Lily backed into the hallway, praying her father would walk through the door any second. Her breath was uneven, her pulse loud in her ears. Karen, lost in her delusion of authority, kept advancing toward her, and then the front door swung open with force. Sheriff Reynolds entered the house with urgent, powerful steps, his breath sharp and controlled. His badge hung at his chest, his eyes already scanning for his daughter, and then he saw it. Karen stood inches away from Lily, towering over her with the posture of someone passing judgment. Lily stood trembling, her back pressed to the wall. The fear in her eyes was enough to ignite every protective instinct inside him. In that instant, the sheriff in him and the father in him collided with explosive force. Karen turned, startled, utterly unprepared for the reality standing before her. Officers stepped in behind him, assessing the situation instantly. Her confidence evaporated. Her posture wavered. The problem she believed she controlled was now fully exposed, and she was the intruder. Sheriff Reynolds stepped forward, shielding Lily with his presence. His badge caught the light as he raised it, the silent message louder than any words. Karen's face drained of color. Every excuse she had imagined suddenly fell apart. Every false assumption crumbled. She backed up as officers closed in on her from both sides. The house was silent, heavy, electric, waiting. Her delusion of authority died the moment she realized whose home she had barged into, and now absolute authority had arrived. Karen was escorted out of the house, her protests drowned out by the weight of her own actions. Neighbors watched from their lawns and windows, their expressions a mixture of disbelief, embarrassment, and awakening. The woman who proclaimed herself the protector of the neighborhood was now the threat being removed from it. Inside, Sheriff Reynolds embraced Lily tightly. She was shaking, tears pressing into his shoulder. The moment might have lasted minutes, but the emotional impact would last much longer. To Lily, this wasn't just an unwanted intruder. It was a reminder that some people saw her as out of place in her own home. That realization cut deeper than anything else. In the following days, the neighborhood changed. Conversation shifted. People who once ignored subtle prejudice were now forced to confront it. Some apologized privately. Others reflected quietly. Everyone replayed the moment when someone's bias crossed into criminal territory. Lily, though shaken, grew stronger. She refused to let fear shape her identity. Her father, though proud of her courage, carried the heavy truth that even his badge couldn't fully shield his daughter from others' assumptions. The incident echoed through the community like a warning. How many more homes must be violated by prejudice before people finally start recognizing it and stopping it? Which city and country are you watching from? Take care.